Folks, it's the return of true journalism with none other than the amazing Brigitte Gabriel with news you can act on in real time. Of course, go to actforamerica.org anytime during this broadcast and take action today. How are you today, Brigitte?
Hello, Brent. I'm doing great. So many things going on. I tell you, it keeps me on my toe, and watching the news keeps everything so exciting.
Well, I'm excited too, Brigitte, because a lot of people are realizing that they're not powerless. Their voice matters, their voice counts. And where else are they going to get truer news than news you can act on? I can't wait to hear what you have for us today.
Well, today I want to talk about the betrayal of President Biden and his family to the American people. The information we are learning every day, Brent, about this president and his family is shocking. This latest issue is the classified documents scattered at different locations. You know, a key point about classified documents is that they are meant to be in secure locations. A single location, authorized or unauthorized, can be controlled, especially if it's the residence of a former president. The documents at President Trump's Mar-a-Lago were secured by the Secret Service. Now we are finding out that Biden not only had documents at Penn Center, in a think tank associated with Chinese special interests at a university that received over $80 million from the Chinese, where anyone could have access to these documents, including the janitors and the cleaning crew, but also now at his garage in his home in Wilmington, Delaware. You know, classified documents scattered across two locations over different states is a serious national security threat. And the question remains, where else might classified documents be found? Trump's people kept the documents in one place. Biden's people themselves may not know where the documents have gotten to or all the places to search. This stuff is in the wild. And now that the news has been made public, every foreign intel agency is going to be conducting its own scavenger hunt. Biden must be impeached, then indicted for treason. It's all out in the open now, Brent. We have a traitor in the White House. No one is even bothering to hide it. President Joe Biden is clearly owned by the Chinese Communist Party and the Mexican drug cartel. He is destroying America, American exceptionalism, capitalism, and most importantly, the great American middle class. Biden is destroying America by opening its borders to millions of migrants and even worse, criminals from all over the world. This is about bankrupting our country and raising the national debt to levels that overwhelm the system and collapse the economy. It's what my friend Wayne Allen Root says. It's about replacing all American patriotic citizens, white Americans, Black Americans, Hispanic Americans. We all need to be replaced, or at the very least, overwhelmed and outvoted to usher in a socialist communist government and economy. Biden's actions since day one of his presidency have been open treason. But in just the past few weeks, he has escalated to levels never thought possible. Biden's Department of Justice actually sued Arizona to block Arizona's law that requires voters to prove they are U.S. citizens. Biden is refusing to arrest, detain, or deport migrants convicted of certain crimes and ordered deported by a court of law. Biden is making deported migrants eligible for U.S. citizenship. Yes, I said deported. He doesn't just want to invite every migrant into our country. Biden wants to also bring back the worst of the worst who've been already kicked out. Now, add in the inflation pandemic. This includes the intentional destruction of the oil and energy industry, as well as farmers and the trucking industry. All done to cause massive inflation of gas, home heating oil, groceries, and virtually every product brought to market. This is the purposeful bankrupting and destruction of the middle class. They aren't even hiding it anymore, Brent. What else all this tells you? Number one, this is a communist takeover of the United States, added and abetted by open borders and intentional voter fraud. Two, they don't care who knows. This is treason on a grand scale, never before imagined in the history of the United States. It is time to impeach Biden, then remove him on grounds of treason. Then he must be indicted for his crimes against America and the American people. This show is called News You Can Act On. We prepared an Act Now campaign for you to call for a Biden family criminal investigation. Go to actforamerica.org, actforamerica.org, and click on Act Now National and take action. We have state campaigns and national campaigns under our Act Now. This is a part of a national campaign. Make your voice heard. We make it so easy for you to take action. We have an email ready that you can send to your elected officials, a petition to sign, social media posts you can share on your social media pages, and even give you your elected officials' phone numbers to call them with a phone script already written for you. It will take you less than 2 minutes to take action. Your elected officials need to hear from you today. Please share this with all your friends as well.
You know, Brigitte, I'll tell you what, it's never been a more crucial time for people to take action, and they can take action that does make a difference in real time right now as you're watching News You Can Act On by going to actforamerica.org. Now, Brigitte, this treason has been evident, since day one. It's very interesting. I was speaking to a gentleman in Israel today. The right, it seems, are so concerned with breaking the law. And that's good because it seems like those who obey the law most are conservatives, while the left continues to pass laws they themselves do not even obey. And I tell you what, they're very emboldened right now, Brigitte, because they don't see a lot of activity until recently, as we talked about in our last show, with the success with Congress and the steps they're making. But folks, like we said last time, you cannot waste this momentum. You've got to go to actforamerica.org right now and sign up for the free action alerts, as well as stand with us and take action today.
Exactly. Your elected officials need to hear from you. Remember, in Congress, there are what I call, there are the people on the left and there are the people on the right. And you know exactly who the people on the right are. Yeah, the people who are not going to change their mind. The Ted Cruz, the Matt Gaetz, the Lauren Boebert, those type of people who are cemented on where they stand. And then you have the left. You have Schumer, you have Dick Durbin, you have all these people, AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar. You have all these types of people on the left who are not going to change. But the majority of members in Congress are what I call the sincerely undecided. And what I mean by that, those are the ones who lick their fingers, stick it up in the air, and see how the wind is blowing. So our job is to create the biggest windmill machine and direct it at them. Their number one job, all they care about is getting reelected. And in order for them to get reelected, they know that they need to keep you, the voter, their constituents, happy. You elect them, you pay their salary. Don't you ever forget that. So while you're working today, if you're watching this show on your while you're working on your iPhone during your lunch break, or whether you're watching this in the evening sitting at home, you just got back home from work. Remember, you're working to pay your taxes, to pay their salary. They answer to you, and they need to hear from you. And here's why this is so important, Brent, and this point is worth repeating on as many shows as we can. People tell me all the time, Brigitte, what is my voice going to matter? I'm only one. My congressman or my senator, they need to hear from 40 to 50,000 people before they even care or before they even take action. Wrong. Your members of Congress, and I talk to them all the time. I've been doing this for 20 years, working with members of Congress. And you will be shocked. I ask them, how many people do you need to hear from to make an issue your top priority? And you will be shocked. 40 to 50 people. That's it. And that's on the federal level. On the state level, all they need to hear from is 10 to 12 people. Here is the science behind the numbers on the federal level, because we're talking about directing a campaign on the national scale to impeach Biden, to investigate the Biden family criminal act. Your members of Congress tally every email, every phone call, and every letter written to them. They make sure they represent each letter, email, or phone call a representative of 1,000 voters. They believe if one person makes a phone call or writes a letter or sends a petition, he or she are representing 1,000 couch potatoes who feel the same way, but are too lazy to get off the couch and make a phone call, but they vote on election day. That translates to 40 to 50,000 people on election day. That can make or break an election. This is how powerful your voice is. You, right now watching me, you are representing 1,000 people. So remember, this is so important. This is why you need to make your voice heard. Go to actforamerica.org, click on Act Now at the banner on the top of the page. You'll see Act Now. You click on that. We have Act Now National, Act Now State. And you can take action, and we need you to take action. This is how we hold our elected officials' feet to the fire and hold them responsible and accountable to do the right thing.
You know, Brigitte, there's so many protests that are happening around the world right now, protesting these very same globalist policies. You won't see that on the mainstream media, folks, but you'll hear about it here on News You Can Act On. But you know what? I bet those places in Paris, in Belgium, in London, and soon to be Israel, I bet they wish that they would have had an Act for America in their area, that they could just simply pick up the phone and do more than just show up with signs and make noise and protest. Protesting is important, folks, but at the end of the day, the crowds, the screams and the signs do very little to a globalist, a collective that fears no consequence for its treason and treachery towards their own people all over the world. What makes a difference? You got to play the game, and the political game is with votes and with action and with communication. I bet they wish they would have taken action when they could have, and now they're just simply left to protest, many of those places unarmed and unable to protect themselves. And in China, as we speak, the situation with concentration camps, the situation with what they really do to protesters there, I bet they wish they would have had some type of organization like Act for America where they are, but apparently they don't. So folks, don't waste the momentum and don't waste your freedom. Seize the time to take action while you can and to be able to combat this globalist, oppressive, treasonous agenda that is happening on their ground. Beat them on their ground. And that's right where Act for America is, right there in Washington, D.C., 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Act for America is fighting for you. Stand with us as we fight for you.
Exactly, Brent. What makes us different is we have organized action. You know, demonstration, like you were mentioning, we're seeing demonstrations all around the world. The media is not reporting on it because we are seeing the same level of government betrayal of the people happening in different countries, just like the United States. Now, demonstrations are great expression. They are entertainment. You see people coming together. You can turn out 100,000 people, and that's a very successful demonstration, 100,000 people. Using technology, like what we're doing on the internet, contacting your elected officials, we can have 1 million people take action sitting all over the country in different states and doing it with the click of a mouse. My mouse, I'm sitting, my computer is by my side. With the click of a mouse, I can make a difference. Now imagine, we now have, I'm sure, more than 40 people watching this broadcast. Can you imagine? This is how on our action alerts, on our Act Now campaigns, we are getting millions of actions because our people don't have to show up on the street and demonstrate. In order to go out in a demonstration, you have to take off work. You literally endanger your life, especially in America with Antifa and all that stuff. You know, you're jeopardizing if somebody takes your picture, getting in trouble, violence erupting. You avoid all that by becoming a keyboard activist. Everybody has a keyboard sitting in front of them. I do. Here's my keyboard, and here is my mouse. So when we are working at our desks every day, we can take action with the click of a button. And when you combine that, like right now, we have people watching us from all over the country. You're watching us in Wyoming. You're watching us in Maine. You're watching us in Florida. You're watching us in California, in Oklahoma, in Nebraska, in Delaware, in Virginia, everywhere around the country. Every single person watching us can at the same time send the same email, make the same phone call to members of Congress. You go on our website, you enter your address because we need to know where you are so we can connect you with your member of Congress. If I only have your email and your name, I do not know that you live in Wilmington, Delaware, or I do not know that you live in Wilmington, North Carolina. So I need to know where you are so we can connect you with your members of Congress and your elected officials. You email them, you call them, you sign a petition sitting at your desk working, or on your laptop or on your iPhone. Everybody sits around with their iPhone. Here's my iPhone, sitting, no matter where they're sitting, even on the couch watching television. At the end of the day, you can take action with the click of a button, and we got millions to do that. We have action alerts with millions of actions where people take action at the same time. That is organized power. This is how Obama organized his grassroots. Right. We are the right's version of how the left organizes. We are their counterpart on the right, on the conservative side, on those who believe in America's exceptionalism, on those who believe in secure borders, on those who believe that we need to stand up with our law enforcement and our police. We are the people who believe that our children belong to us, not to institutions, not to our government to brainwash, not to leftist liberal educators brainwashing our children. We are old school. So if this message resonates with you, no matter where you're watching us right now, go to actforamerica.org and join us. Sign up to get our emails and action alert. Start a chapter in your community. If you are a member of a group that's already existing, you have your own identity, register your group with us. We want to know that you are there and where are you. We want to support you. We want to provide you with the resources that we have developed so you can become more empowered. You are no longer one isolated group of 20, 30, 40, 50, or even 200 in a county. Now you are a part of a multi-million-dollar organization movement nationwide, where you are connected with like-minded people, no matter what state you live in. We bring all the conservatives together so we can make a difference. That's the only way we are going to save our country, Brent. That's the only way we're going to save our country. Organized, coming together with a strategy and a plan to win and take back our country.
Well, Brigitte, I'll tell you what, a lot of people have waited since the 60s, since they started seeing this onslaught of communist infiltration in every sector of leadership and politics and even the media. Folks, here it is. Act for America is the hub. actforamerica.org is the place. And literally from your phone, you can make a difference. You can stand with us. You can get those action alerts. You know, Brigitte, we've laughed before in past shows. You know, a lot of you are watching or listening while you're at work today. I know how that is, folks. You're busy, and some of you can't watch, but you can listen as you work. But you're going to go to the restroom sometime, and we know you take your phone. We know you take it. So you know what?
We know you do.
But you know, you might as well be a media operative with us right now today. You know, I know you're going to look at TikTok. I know you're going to do it, but skip one TikTok and take 20 seconds. Did you know that in 20 seconds? You can literally join Act for America and join the action alerts. You can also browse the national issues and headlines that you won't see on mainstream media, and the local issues as well. It's an incredible thing. I've never seen anything like it, Brigitte. But like you've said before, you know, people are coming together. The truckers, the farmers, the cops, you know, the first responders, our veterans, our conservatives, the homeschooling world, and those who are moving towards conservative states, because you're seeing what you've been voting for has really been contributing to the downfall of America if you vote for the left. Well, folks, it is coming together. It has come together. Act for America is the hub, and actforamerica.org is the place to make a stand and get involved today.
Exactly, Brent. We are bringing like-minded, patriotic people together, people who love our country. You know, 30 years ago, we never thought of ourselves as the left or the right. We used to be able to get together with our friends and our family and love them, and in return, they loved us back. We didn't discuss politics like today. The country was not divided as today. I mean, I have friends, you know, within families who fight with each other over politics. That politics now have gotten even in the middle of family relationships, right, which is so unfortunate. And what we do with Act for America is we remind everybody this is about saving America in the way our founding fathers envisioned America, the great dream that they dreamt, the incredible nation that we have, the Constitution that they gave us, that guided this nation for 300 years plus. This is what we are trying to preserve. And so what we do at actforamerica.org is we bring patriotic people together. We have literally created family with people that we have never known. I have met people who literally became my family over the last 20 years, while some members of the family who became so far to the left right now, we can't even get together on Thanksgiving. They refuse to come and visit with us because we're so different, which is sad. But you know what? You will not only meet great friends who feel the same way you do, you will make friends, you will make family, and you're also making a difference at the same time. And look, we need to hold our elected officials responsible. To have a president betray our country, where most of the people realize that Biden's loyalty is not to America. Biden's loyalty can be purchased by the highest bidder, whether it's from China, whether it's from Ukraine, whether it's from God knows what, Iran. I mean, who are we? Since when did our national security become for sale for some corrupt nations? We need to hold our elected officials responsible. We need an investigation into the criminal activity of the Biden family. And every American should demand this. But you know what? Our elected officials are not going to do the right thing on their own. Let's face it. After all, they're all politicians.
Right.
We are not politicians. We are people who are working hard, making ends meet. And if America's going to be saved, it's going to be because we all hardworking Americans coming together and saying, look, those of you all who become mega millionaires sitting up on Capitol Hill on our backs, our taxes are paying for you to be up there. We want to hold you accountable. And by the way, I was watching the news yesterday, and I was watching something about Biden with his multi-million-dollar homes in the States. I mean, have you seen his multi-million-dollar homes? How did he get that on a senator's salary? I mean, think about it. Senator's salary. I want to know how I can own multi-million-dollar homes, multiple of them on Delaware Ocean, on the ocean and on the Atlantic. I want to know how to do that. And you know what? I'm not going to do that on the founder of a small nonprofit salary. I mean, people need to understand when they look at our elected officials, how did the Biden family get to be that wealthy, serving as a senator, a career politician? Now, that's why we need to expose the light. President Trump shined the light on the swamp. He told us about the swamp. We didn't hear about the swamp before President Trump ran for office. Right. And when he used to talk about the swamp, we started thinking, you know what? He's making a point here. I mean, there must be something to what he's saying. Now we smell the swamp. It doesn't matter where you live. You know the swamp exists. And that's why we want accountability. And that's why we're coming together and working together to save America. And if my message resonates with you, please go to actforamerica.org. And we name the organization Act for America. Not think about America, pray for America, hope for America, or wish for America. You can pray, hope, wish for the country, and you should. But without taking action, nothing happens. Go to actforamerica.org. Stand with us in every way you can. Stand with us financially if you are able. We need your support. We don't take money from any government agency. We don't get any public funding because we do not want to be beholden to anybody other than the American people. We do not want to be muzzled by any government agency. We want to be able to speak the truth and nothing but the truth for the American people and hold our government accountable for we the people. This is a government for the people, by the people. We the people decide how our destiny and what should happen. So if this message resonates with you, please go to actforamerica.org, sign up to get our emails and action alert, and stand with us financially and support our work. We are a nonprofit organization. Your donation is tax deductible. We need you. We need you to do the work that we do, and we can stay on the air as well, educating millions of people about how they too can become a powerful voice affecting our nation.
Brigitte, anyone who has a passion for America and has a patriotic heart can go to Act for America and join us. You can click get involved, start a chapter, join a chapter. There's also Act in Faith for all the churches. Imagine all the churches, Brigitte, who subscribe to the Bible.
Yeah.
There's a scripture that says, blessed are the people or the nation whose God is the Lord. Folks, it's time that the churches come together. There's a lot of people who like to see churches come together in cities. Imagine if those churches actually took action for America. It's been said, and talking to pastors and fellow ministers as well. There's a saying that the devil's not worried about a Sunday morning revival. He's worried about a Monday morning revival. And for those who admire Charles Spurgeon, who had thousands coming to him, Charles Spurgeon would preach with a newspaper in one hand and a Bible in the other, because he believed that the news of the day and the happenings of the day, the Bible had the answer for it, and it required action, biblically based action. Well, according to the Bible, folks, there's a penalty for the watchmen on the wall who do not sound the alarm. Sound the alarm with your churches and with your faith communities. Come together, join the Act in Faith movement right there at actforamerica.org. Now, Brigitte, everyone's information is secure, unlike other organizations who say secure the vote or protect your vote or protect our democracy, which is a republic, by the way. They sell your information, folks. Brigitte and Act for America do not sell your information. It is secure. It is not for sale, just like Brigitte is not for sale. Those of you who love Trump because he was not for sale, I know you love Brigitte because she's not for sale either. Go to actforamerica.org. Stand with us today.
Exactly. And again, this is such an important point that you brought up, Brand. We do not sell your information. We do not rent your information, lease your information, share your information. I cannot tell you how many organizations come to me and they say, Brigitte, we are on the same page politically, and we are sending this important information out. Could we please have your membership names, because they need to know about this issue? And I tell them, look, I know we are on the same page, but I'm not giving you my membership. It's not for sale. It's not for lease. It doesn't matter how much you pay me. I'm not interested in the money. I made a promise to my followers and my members that I will not sell their information. And people tell me all the time, Brigitte, why do you ask so much information in your petitions? I have to give my name, my address, my phone number. And I tell them, look, your elected officials require this information if you are emailing members of Congress. If anybody ever sends you a petition and says, sign this petition, just add your name, first name, last name, and email, they are lying to you. They are collecting data so they can sell your name. Your elected official will never see that your name on that petition, because your elected official cannot verify that. I can come up right now with 5 different names and 5 different emails on Gmail, on AOL, on Yahoo, you name it, fake names, and give them to anybody. As a matter of fact, you know how when you go to Amazon and, you buy something, or Macy's or Dillard's, and they ask you for, give us your email. Well, I have a fake email for them. You think I'm going to give them my real email? Because I know they're going to bombard me with their offers and this sale and that sale. So I literally have a fake email for whenever I buy anything on the internet. So this is exactly why your members of Congress, unless they can verify your name and your address and your phone number, if they cannot see that, no petition you sign will ever get to them. Those companies that ask you to sign those petitions are collecting your name and email for sale.
A news show that is true news, funded by the people, for the people. Another great show of news you can act on. Thank you again, Brigitte.
Thank you so much. And may God bless you. May God bless the United States.